Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Ain Balkis binti Hamdan. My number matches is 279621. Code subject SSYS 2023 Social Psychology. The lecturer Dr. Munira Al-Wahidi. Title experiment Pavlov dog experiment 1920. Introduction. Background history. Ivan Pavlov was a Russian physiologist best known in psychology for his discovery of classical conditioning. Ivan Petrovich Pavlov was born on September 14, 1849 in the village of Ryazan, Russia, where his father was the village priest. He is died in 1939 in Leningrad. His early study was focused on geology, but reading Charles Darwin on the origin of the species had a powerful influence on his future interests. In 1904, he was awarded the Nobel Prize in the Physiologist Mating category for his famous experiment. Pavlov conducted research with his pet dog. Figures involve Ivan Pavlov. Description of how the experimental method was implemented. Pavlov set up an experiment in which he rang a bell shortly before presenting food to the dog. At first, the dog elicited no response to the bell. However, the dog began to salivate at the sound of the bell alone. This led Pavlov to design a serious experiment in which he used various sound objects, such as a bell, to condition the salivation response in dogs. He started by sounding a bell each time food was given to the dog, and found that the dog would start salivating immediately after hearing the bell, even before seeing the food. After a period of time, Pavlov began sounding the bell without giving any food at all and found that dogs continued to salivate at the sound of the bell even in the absence of food. They had learned to associate the sound of the buzz of the bell with being fed. If we look at Pavlov's experiment, we can identify the four factors of classical conditioning at work. The unconditional response was the dog's natural salivation in response to seeing or smelling their food. The unconditional stimulus was the sight or smell of the food itself. The conditional stimulus was the ringing of bell, which previously had no association with food. The conditional response, therefore, was the salivation of the dog in response to the ringing of the bell, even when no food was present. Pavlov had successfully associated an unconditional response, natural salivation in response to food, with a conditional stimulus, a buzzer, eventually creating a conditional response, salivation in response to a buzzer. With this result, Pavlov established his theory of classical conditioning. Main content. Theory. Classical conditioning theory. Classical conditioning is a kind of learning that majorly influences behaviorism, a school of psychology that assumes learning ensures through interaction with our environment. It describes the process in which an organism is conditioned to respond to a previously neutral stimulus in a certain way. Discovered and proven by Russian physiologist Ivan Pavlov, this learning process occurs through a developed association between a naturally occurring stimulus and an environment stimulus. Principle or step of classical conditioning. The steps or principles of classical conditioning are acquisition, extinction, spontaneous recovery, stimulus generalization, and stimulus discrimination. They are explained as follows. Acquisition, the step or principle of classical conditioning in which the stimulus under observation starts generating a response similar to the unconditional response is called acquisition. This is the initial step of learning in which responses are established and strengthened as the result of repeated presentation or experiment. Example, in Pavlov's experiment, the time till the dog starts salivation at ring of bell can be called as the step of acquisition. Extinction, if we present conditional stimulus without the unconditional stimulus, multiply time, the conditional response start decreasing till it disappears. Example, it was observed in Pavlov's experiment that were ringing bell. Conditional stimulus was presented without meat. Unconditional stimulus, repeatedly the response salivation started decreasing and eventually it disappeared. The phenomenon is called extinction of response. Spontaneous recovery, a principle or stage of classical conditioning in which a conditioned response, which has been extinguished early, reemerges after a long break is called spontaneous recovery. Example, Pavlov observed that after extinction, when the bell started ringing, the dog salivated at the ring only despite the fact that he did not give any meat to the dog after ringing the bell. Another example is that of a person who has quit smoking. When in a gathering he sees people smoking, he feels as if he is smoking. Stimulus generalization, a phenomena in which the stimuli, similar to the conditional stimulus, that generating the same response as the generated by conditional stimulus, is called stimulus generalization. Example, we stop at the red traffic light without bringing their shape or size in consideration, although the effect is not as intense as the original one, but it had a load. Greater the similarity, greater is the effect. Stimulus discrimination, the principle of classical conditioning in which one can differentiate between two stimuli. Example, one can generate the response and the other cannot. It's called stimulus discrimination. Example, the ability to differentiate between phone bell and doorbell or neighbor dog barking and your dog barking. Therapy, aversive therapy. A person undergoing avoidance therapy to quit smoking may receive an electric shock every time they see a picture of a cigarette. The goal of the conditioning process is to make the individual associate the stimulus with an unpleasant or uncomfortable sensation, such as a bad taste, foul odor, or even a mid-electric shock. The hope is that the unwanted behavior or action will begin to decrease in frequency or stop completely. How it is applied in a particular field, classical conditioning theory in the classroom. Learning can occur as a result of student response to stimuli from the teacher. For example, when a teacher instructs a student to stand, the student will obey the order by standing up quickly. Throughout this situation, we can see the instruction given by the teacher is a stimulus while the action of the student to stand is response. Another example, teacher teaching must be related to the existing knowledge of student to facilitate learning to take place. For example, if a teacher wants to teach students to make complete sentence in English, students should have existing knowledge in the rule of English grammar. This is important to ensure that students are not left behind and can follow the teacher teaching. Discussion and conclusion. Important have made the discipline what is today and will likely continue to shape our understanding of human behavior for years to come. Implication, positive feedback, attention, and involvement can be fostered through classical conditioning. Apart from that, it needs to be related to the student's existing knowledge to facilitate the PMP process.
I know gold is not enough.